them come. This is their fate.
All right. Welcome back to the House of Wolves podcast. I am your host, Deontay, here with my near and dear friends, Jalen and Josh, where we come at you with some topics on hand in regard to news, daily gaming news, stuff we've seen. We're a little bit late to this week. We had some important matters to get squared away. So we had to come back a little bit later than usual, but it's back to normal programming, unless something otherwise comes up, because we gotta make moves based off of importance. But we definitely want to make sure we get these out to you on scheduled time. So we're gonna record this on this Tuesday and try to hopefully put it out on this Tuesday. This is February 7th. So a little back scenes of what goes on at the House of Wolves podcast. But yeah, we got some topics for you guys today. We got a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff been happening around gaming, so very interesting, and it's time. So let's get started. Before we, get into the topics as usual, Jalen, Josh, inform the people on how you're doing, what you've been playing, what you've been up to, how's life going, and all the good jazz in between. Let's make it quick because we got a lot to get to.
And Jalen been around the world.
Jalen been around the world. Now he back again. He back on road. He over there. He on his straight. He's always bad out love when I'm back. You back on road, man.
Back on road.
Back outside, boys. You got all types of Drake lyrics going through your head.
Yeah, but I'll go quick because I ain't really got much other than hung out with Jalen. He came to Japan for a bit. We it didn't go too far. Spent most of the time in Osaka and like local areas like that. Got to hit up like Universal Studios Japan. We were there all day and we only got to be at like Nintendo World for a little bit, but overall, enjoyed the week. Good to see Jalen. He doing good, looking healthy. Hair straight, hairline looking good. So I ain't had nothing to complain about.
I ain't gained weight. I'm just like,
oh my goodness! Don't worry about me. Don't worry about me.
But no, it was a good trip. Tired because I always forget how like you want to visit somewhere. I'm gonna go see my cousin in London, and we gonna spend 3 days just hanging out. But doing like 3 days straight is just like you'd be so tired after the second day. Yeah. And so but it was good. We played a little bit of Overwatch, but other than that, I haven't played pretty much anything in this last week or so. But yeah, since this trip is mostly your experience, what was your highlights, Jalen?
Yeah, so I mean, I'm trying to think. No, it's cool. Like Josh said, I got to go to Japan, see him, see his family and stuff like that. So that's super dope. Trying to make sure I check in on my boys, man, since I just got all this free time on my hands, right? That just but nah, Japan, it was definitely a blast. I think Josh did a good job of accommodating us and taking time out of his day and stuff like that to make sure me and Jalil was good and got to have different experiences and stuff like that. I do know traveling can be a lot and doing a lot of different things, and I had a list of things I wanted to see this time thanks to the power of TikTok and Instagram Reels and stuff like that. I was able to actually plan out some things or whatever. So keeping in mind, I want to be considerate because I know Josh don't, be out I don't even be out as much like that and stuff like that. And Jalil, and you got the 14-hour difference. And so we walk around at nighttime essentially and move around in the, I'm saying it backwards. But anyways, it was a 14-hour difference. And so our days and nights was flipped basically. But yeah, it's a good experience, man. I just want, I was trying to be considerate of Josh Phil or whatever. just walking around. I don't mind walking. I got to get, I barely sleep, so but that's why I be comatose when I sit down too. but but no, it was
Comatose,
good though.
man.
Yeah, I know how I get down. But no, that's about it. I ain't really been playing nothing. Had a blast in Japan. Got a lot of pictures. Made a lot of memories and things like that. And I mean, might try to see it through Hogwarts here for it, but I mean, that's neither here nor there. I still got to get Crisis Core though.
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah.
So I guess well, for
I was gonna
into my
ask.
stuff. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. Because like obviously the biggest part of our trip was I think Universal Studios because we were there all day. What'd you think of it overall, Jalen? Like Universal.
I don't know. I feel like Universal Studios. So I've been to the one in California. I've been to the one in Florida, and then I've been to the one in Japan. Or I don't know how many in Japan, but I've been to the one in Osaka. But I feel like when you get older and stuff like that, it'd be a little bit more different, but it's still cool, like to be able to, do things and just be a back outside boy. But um, I don't know. I kind of feel like I had the same opinion on the other things because I feel like a lot of the
Yeah.
attractions are. I ain't gonna say they're one to
Pretty
one the
similar, I
same.
think.
Yeah, they're pretty
Yeah.
similar. Like you got a couple roller coasters, you got a couple things that's not like, they're interactive rides and things like that. So it ain't nothing too drastically different. They're along the same lines or whatever. I thought the Nintendo World was cool, even though it was short lived because it was like I felt
We
like
had
it
a lot
was
of time.
just yeah, but I feel like they did a good job of capturing the Mario feel, and I feel like Mario been around for a long period of time, and it has all these different iterations versus some things like I mean I guess Spider-Man got a lot of iterations too, but I guess the game aspect of it just made it a lot more cooler. Maybe because I'm a little bit more connected to Nintendo than I am with Jurassic Park and Spider-Man and stuff like that. But I think they put a lot of work in there, and it was just
Mm-hmm.
it was interesting. Like I really felt like I
Yeah,
felt like that was his own area, like his own. I mean, clear his own area, but it felt like his own park essentially. Even though it was still small, but it was big at the same time, and you can see the little detail they put into those things. Versus you going into like the Jurassic Park area, you just like, all right, you just hearing noises and stuff like that, and then you see like two rides, like it ain't much to it.
yeah.
Versus Nintendo is
The
just his own
Nintendo
closed off
area
area.
definitely you can see they spent the most money making that area because it just looked nice. Like it was relatively small space, but all the like buildings and like background pops and everything were like big and like very detailed. um
Bowser
so I
Castle
mean
too.
oh yeah, Bowser Castle. I feel like I liked going through the castle more than the actual ride because like I know they're not gonna do it because it's like dangerous, but it should have just been like normal go-karts when it was just like this AR like thing.
Uh,
So yeah. So I mean if you go in to like ride for the Mario Kart, it's not really much to talk about. But it's still a nice place to visit with your family and like get some pictures and explore like the castles and environments. Um so if I go again at some point, hopefully I'll be able to see the whole thing because the main issue we ran into is they have like a time check-in. Like you gotta well first you gotta download the app, but we didn't know that until we got to the Mario section. But you gotta download the app, check in, and say I want to pick this time slot. And we got there like maybe 30 minutes to an hour after the park opened, and the only time slot was left was 6:30 p.m., which is the last one. So we basically waited all day to see the Nintendo Land. So whenever they finish building it in the California one, I know it's going to be crazy busy like that too.
yeah, I think they're already kind of finished, but they only have a small amount. Like they had like a soft
Oh yeah.
opening. But yeah, Karina was hot. She was like, "They went there." I was like, "Yeah, girl, they went." I was like, "You know what was gonna happen?" I said, "You know it's gonna go." She was like, "I can't believe." And then I told her about the situation with the ticket. She's like, "Wouldn't happen if I was there."
I mean, probably.
She said, "Wouldn't have happened." I said, "Yeah, you're right. You know you a planner." She said, "But yeah,
I mean, it was like the lady spoke Japanese and she tried to warn us, but we didn't understand like exactly what was is the communication barrier because she told us to download the app and she like you heard from Mario, right? I'm like, Yeah, and that's
Yeah,
why I
she was like,
told
"You're
him
here
where
for
it was at.
Mario." She was like, "Oh, maybe you should download the app." She didn't say like, "You're not gonna get in unless you check in this app right now."
Yeah,
Gotcha.
but I think she was kind of like she was trying to warn us, but she probably just ain't know how to like, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like it
Yeah.
was just so we had to figure out the hard way. I'm like, why she keep pressing us to download this app, bro? But because she
Gotcha.
asked me, Jalil, and Josh, I'm like, we all together, and she download that, download that, download. I'm like, bro, no, like I don't got no space.
But yeah, yeah, when she saw those pictures, I was like, listen, it was gonna happen. We'll go back. That's all that's gonna happen.
What
But
picture she see? My bad.
I don't
I
know.
ain't,
Somebody posted something. I think it was Josh.
uh,
I think that's when they was going through the castle or something like that. But yeah, we was admiring from afar. It looked like y'all was having some fun, and glad y'all was able to do so. But yeah, we get around to either the California one or at some point the Japan one, depends. But yeah, what I did, and I don't want to. It wasn't much. I mean, I played a lot of Final Fantasy Crisis Core. A lot of it. I'm like 30
You almost
hours.
done?
Yeah. Not really, because I've just been grinding and finally got
Did
Costly
you
Punch and so a few of the other broken things in the game. But I haven't
ooh,
finished and got to like the final, like you said, that Minerva or something boss. I mean,
oh you never.
I'm, I'm, I'm like 45, 50%. No, I'm at 41% of the missions completed. So I think I can probably finish it if I just keep going down the ones that I want to go down. Probably at 50%. I have Minerva in them beat, and then I just finish the game. But I think I'm gonna just finish the game because there's no real point of me doing everything. I already have Protect Ring and stuff like that to really make the game easy. I got Costly
Mhm.
Punch now where I can one hit everything. Got my limit break for health, so I'm at like 40,000, which I can easily keep going to get it to 99 if I do the right combination of fusions. But I really don't need to fight Minerva, to be honest. But it's
Mhm.
been really helpful to be able to stream it to the Steam Deck because I don't have to sit in front of a thing. I just play it on the Steam Deck when I'm around the house, and it's really like a really good connection. It's like I looked up some tips on what to do for uh to stream it well, and it's like almost like I'm sitting in front of it, like regular low latency,
Mhm.
really good picture, and yeah, I really don't have an issue playing it on there. So I've been able to knock out a lot of time on it, and yeah, it's been good. So that's what I've been playing a
What
lot
part of
of.
the story you at?
Chapter 6, maybe. I just finished getting Aerith her cart, and now I'm about to go back to fight. And they say you ain't. It says once I go on this mission, I can't go back, and I'm like, that's weird. Am I at the end of the game, or is it like to the point where I can't do the missions at the place where Aerith is? I don't know if they're talking about my missions or missions around the area, like Aerith's like building her a better cart or whatever. Like that small stuff, like I don't care about. But I'm at a point now where it's telling me to confirm whether or not I'm ready to move forward, and I
Yeah,
won't be able to
I
finish
think
the
you can
mission.
still do the side missions. Those will still be there, but like the little side quests, like talking to her and stuff like that.
Yeah, those are gonna be over.
You'll be gone like outside the city, like on like a long quest type thing where you can't like come
Get
back and do
back.
those quests.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I think that they're doing now, and honestly, I don't care to get the extra side stuff with. I mean, I like Aerith and his storyline or whatever, but I really don't care that much to go back and find more stuff because it's very clunky, and Final Fantasy wasn't built around uh those types of missions and quests. It's all about the fighting really, and I'm just like, this is dumb. I don't really want to do this. So and it's not entertaining in any way, shape, or fashion, so I don't like doing it. So um I'm just going to continue to do the mission that I enjoy, get game breaking stuff, which I already got. So I don't really need to do any much more. I just need to finish the game. And once I finish it, I trade it in and get the game not to be spoken of. But I already got that paid off. So I might just start Midnight Suns because I've beaten Unbound. Yay, clap it up. ASAP Rocky is out of here. Out of here. I beat Unbound. And I'm on my way to beating Final Fantasy Reunion. And then I'm gonna start Midnight Suns while I also play Hogwarts. So it's just that aspect of it. Just trying to get stuff finished. But no, I haven't done anything else. Just been playing games, having a good time, and enjoying myself. I did, as you all know, I'm on my fitness kick journey, whatever, because I don't want to go back to Japan and Josh hit me with that again. You know what I'm saying? So those mental scars are still there. Those mental scars.
What he said.
What he said? He said, "Dang, what you been feeding that boy?" I said, "What you talking about?" He said, "Dang, what you feeding that boy?" I said, "Ah."
That boy out there playing. I said, "Be dying." That boy been eating.
Great to say, "I don't know." I said, "Don't do me like that." Yeah.
Bold.
No, I'm just playing, but I am doing like the relay marathon, a 10K, and a mile sprint, and that's all coming up in September, later down the line in the month. But I've been doing my runs and jogging. Usually get around like 2 miles every time I go out 3 times a week. But my legs have been killing me. I don't really understand it. I got the worst shins in the world, and I really don't know how to fix it. So every time I start to hit real pavement and really start to get to running, these things give out. So they just get inflamed. So I'm trying to figure out ways to reduce that. Been wearing compression socks and, doing like sprays and over the leg ointments to try to ease the pain, but that junk come in like no other. But I figure it out. I might end up actually setting a doctor's appointment for real, because it's been happening since I was a child. I just never had to do long runs. Like I never really had a endurance type running. I was always a sprinter, so it would just not be as painful. But now that I'm trying to actually run a marathon or like a relay and do these types of things, I need to figure out what is causing this pain to be so strong. So that's another fitness update for your boy. Not that you necessarily needed it, but I want y'all to know where I'm at in life. I am trying to get a little bit more fit and more in shape, because it's just it's to a point where I need to do something. It's not like getting super overweight, but it's just not something where I'm used to being, because I've always been skinny. So yeah, that's what I want to do. So I'm doing it. And
You want to hit his cat daddy in skinny jeans.
my cat daddy, man. Yeah, I got videos of me doing the cat daddy, and that was back in 2012. Whew. It was 2011. 2012, I was in freaking, I'm dating myself. But 2011, yeah, it's crazy. Feel so old. But yeah, moving into these topics, let's get right into it. Like I said, I didn't want it to be long, and it's already 19 minutes in. So let's talk about James Gunn and his 8 to 10 year plan. If you're a DC fan, this is your part of the show. What we thinking, Josh? I've seen a lot of stuff I was very intrigued in, and I feel like he truly has a vision. And that's satisfying in a way, but because it's like he's already letting us in on his plans, so we don't have to be guessing of what's happening next. We know what's going to be slated, and we know what's going to be covered. So now we got the people that's going to go to the movie theater with their comic books and make sure they do everything to the original. But What's your thoughts on him explaining and portraying and like pushing out his entire plan? What are your thoughts on that first?
Um, I think it's necessary. It's what the DC like universe overall has needed for a long time. I know that they've tried to like unify everything under like a single like plan or banner, like the Snyderverse, and then they had like their post Snyderverse stuff, but it's kind of been hit or miss for a lot of people. But the main thing is just it's not consistent, like quality wise. And James Gunn I think has proven like a pretty good track record for superhero movies. 2 Guardians movies, the most recent Suicide Squad, Peacemaker. So at least his work is consistent, and if the future DC stuff is consistent quality wise, I think it will be good. Obviously, I know a lot of people were upset about like his plans because it pretty much means if not all the previous actors, most of them are going to be recast. They're looking for like more younger people overall to stick around for the next 10, 15, 20 years. I'm personally okay with that. I think I didn't have any problem with the previous actors like Henry Cavill and people like that. But I think at this point it's just good to distance themselves from the old stuff as much as they can, which I'm not sure how they would do because I think they still doing the Flash movie and still Aquaman 2, so they're probably gonna like do some time travel stuff or whatever to like change the universe. But some people will still be around for a while. But they're mostly looking for new actors. As for the movies that were announced, personally, I don't see anything that I'm like super excited for. But based on like James Gunn's track record, I'm at least gonna check it out because like I didn't know anything about Peacemaker, and he did a really good job with that. The Suicide Squad was all characters that nobody knew about, and he still made it interesting. Same thing with the Guardians before they came out, nobody knew about them. So,
Mm-hmm.
Supergirl and Booster Gold and all the other stuff. I think I'm hoping at least that it's in the right hands and they can do it well. So yeah,
Yeah, I think like the most interesting ones for me were Supergirl, Booster Gold, and Swamp Thing. Like those last ones
Mhm.
were like new, unique, and I think he can bring a very strong and very fun light to some of that stuff. But understanding that Supergirl is a little bit more going to be darker because she's pretty much been isolated and she's coming to the Earth, so maybe she might be a little bit different type of Supergirl. But Swamp Thing being a horror film and Booster Gold kind of being like that imposter where I never heard of this individual. Um,
Mhm.
so I'm just interested in those new stories and like really delving deep. Even the Creature Commandos anime series, I think all of that stuff is unique in that he's going to be bringing in characters that's going to actually play their voices into the real life movies as well. Kind of unifies um, that whole aspect of it too. So I'm totally looking forward to it. I think James Gunn has, as you stated, proven a good record, and I think he's going to deliver. What you thinking, Jalen? You gonna be a DC fan now? I mean, because you're such a big Marvel fan. So what's your thinking about that DC stuff? What you thinking?
Will DC again? Not just fine. Nah, man, I ain't never really liked DC. Like, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. So anything they do, like, I used to watch Justice League, and I used to see Superman and get whooped, and I'm just like, I can't really bang with this. So I never really personally cared about DC. I think the only thing I cared about in the DC is if they do something with Static Shock. Like, if it ain't that, I ain't much of a fan of
They
it.
they could. I think at least James Gunn seems to pick like the least, not least, but the less popular characters. So I'm not saying that Static Shock not popular, but he's not like Superman. So
Yeah,
we probably could visit like a smaller character like that at some point.
Gotcha.
But yeah,
I think it'd be a good
same
idea.
thing. Like I grew up with the characters. I know Batman. We all seen like the Justice League and Injustice and stuff, but a lot of the characters just haven't gotten the, at least in the movies, the spotlight that maybe they should, or at least like the Marvel characters has. So hopefully this is the right step for the DC movie universe.
Yeah.
Finally, like 10 years too late, but
Yeah. I mean, you got to right the ship at some point, and I think they got the money to do so. I just hope that because he came out as the CEO, co-CEOs, meaning he got creative control and nobody's over him. But at the same time, I don't trust Warner Brothers, or like they just seem like, because now is it I'm trying to think, was it who owns Warner Brothers now? Or is it just Warner Brothers?
AT&T?
I think it's still AT&T. So I don't know.
Or no, it was
No,
like
it's Discovery,
or something.
something like that, right? And I mean, I think AT&T owns Discovery. I don't know the inner workings of that whole thing, but I just know he still got some oversight, and he still got people that are going to check in, and it's not going to let him run for wild. And I think this is a tamed and conservative approach to building the building blocks to start with, and obviously not paying recurring acts to come back for big bucks, renegotiating contracts is a way for them to be able to expand without, and minimize expense. Because all those people that make movies and have big openings like The Rock, the Henry, Gil, Gadet, I'm pretty sure they're going to still do Wonder Woman. I don't think they're going to do Wonder Woman. I think they're doing Aquaman.
Not yet, yeah.
It was Aquaman and The Flash, and that was it. That's all he mentioned, and he went to the new stuff. So,
they still have Blue Beetle, but I don't know when that come out. But this was a movie that they already
greenlit it and everything. So yeah, I think once they get those out the way, it's not going to be connected to their DCU, or is it called the DCU? DCU?
I don't know.
Whatever they want to call it now, the DCU. But yeah, I trust him enough. Trust him as far as I can throw him, I suppose. But I trust him. I trust him. But yeah, moving to the next topic, we wanted to get we could talk about Apex Legends, good and bad right now. Mobile shuts down, no refunds.
I forgot that game came out.
Me too.
I know that they were like testing it to like certain markets, and then I guess it came out.
Yeah, and they're shutting it down a year later after all those microtransactions. And I feel like no refunds is a slap in the face to everybody that kind of supported the game. And I just think EA and Respawn are going down this bad rabbit hole of bad choices, money grabs, looking very, loan shark-ish in a lot of ways, and not even a loan. Just feels very bad. It's like a poor taste in your mouth to support this company at this point. And it just feels like it's just so in a bad spot that even if I love the game, I can't get behind your practices or your instability and your lack of true change. Like, I feel like everything is a Band-Aid. And we can talk about the actual changes coming to the main game, but let's first focus in on mobile for just a little bit. So mobile came out, and I want to say it was almost like close to the it was close to the to today. Like, when did it come out? What was the first release date?
May
17th. Okay, so a little bit off, but May 17th of 2022. It did not make a full year. I think it's going to stop in May.
We can't download it anymore, but they're gonna shut off the servers soon in like March, I think.
Yeah. So they're shutting down the servers, and you're obviously going to be able to use your things, your money that you spent on it right now, but you ain't getting no refunds. And that's really the core part about it, is that you don't get any refunds for this type of game. Google Stadia did the right thing. After you owned and purchased something, but understanding that that's a platform and this is just a game, it's a little bit different, but at the same time, it's the same premise. You should provide microtransactions for something that individuals can no longer use. These are things that they no longer can use. So if Fortnite was to go down in flames, that would be a tough sale for anybody, to like say no refunds. And it's kind of hard to say that in that degree. Like maybe the past year, maybe whatever, maybe the last 3 months, something that showcases that you actually care about your community. But no, they're literally just going to shut it off and you don't get your money back. And it's that makes it really scary to buy anything from EA. Like this is tough thing right here. This is almost on a level of, I'm trying to think when something like,
and they shut down Battlefield Mobile too.
I'm not sure if they shut down Battlefield Mobile, but I mean, I wouldn't put it past them. They canceled mobile, Apex Legends, and Battlefield games. Yep.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if they refunded, but probably not.
It just seems like a slap in the face, and it's really hard to swallow that pill and just keep moving forward as if it didn't happen. And that that it just feels in the way it progressed and how it kind of transpired, that it just feels like a money grab. It feels so wrong in so many ways that I just can't look past it. Every time I think of Apex Legends, I think of bad practices, terrible servers, incomplete game. And now this on top of that is because bad practices came from their collection events and their heirlooms and their freaking expensive skins. That's bad practice. This is just awful. Like, this is more things to showcase that you really shouldn't be supporting this company right now. And I can't put all the earnest on EA anymore, because this has been 4 years of this, and it's been getting worse and worse and worse. So that means that people are coming complacent with the bonuses or whatever they're getting to sell. And this is what they justify their sales as, is that we need more people, but the game hasn't gotten better in a sense of server wise. It hasn't gotten better in cheaters wise. It hasn't gotten better in actual play matching and actual, the matchmaking hasn't gotten better. It's just all over the place. Like, I'm finding less and less reasons to play this game, and more why you shouldn't. And that's really not where you want your space or your game to be in. But here we are. So yeah, I mean, that is the case of Apex Legends Mobile and the real true bad of it. Anything to add, guys? I know we've been off of it for a while, but before we move into what's coming up, just want to make sure we button up the bag.
Yeah, I guess get up the negative stuff out. Respawn has been in a weird spot for me. Like, if you'd have asked me last year, I would have said they're probably my favorite developer. But like this year, it's been really iffy. Like, we barely touched Apex at all, and all the updates I've seen have been like mostly like expensive cosmetics, like no real good changes to the gameplay, like server issues, things like that. Then they were saying last week that they canceled the single player Titanfall game. They shut down Apex Mobile. Like I'm still looking forward to their new games. Like they really good games. I think the Star Wars game is going to be still good, but I don't know what is going on like management wise because it seems like they're having issues just like being creative and putting stuff out. Plus, it's been like 3 years when we've been waiting for crossplay.
Yeah.
I mean cross save. Yeah, I don't know. Respawn and EA overall, I think they need some. I don't want to say help, but they got some issues going on over there, and hopefully it can be solved. But this new Apex stuff for me, it's promising, and like it looks like you're going in the right direction. But I don't know if it's enough to like actually, get me back to playing yet. But yeah, you can talk about the changes.
Yeah. Anything to add, Jalen, before we move into the changes that are occurring?
No, all I can say is I don't feel like I'm too surprised. Like Josh said, just like the expensive cosmetics that they put in there, they like, hey, come get this $30 rescan, my boy. We ain't did much, but But that, and when I was saying, can we be like too surprised? I mean, the simple fact that they shut down Apex Mobile and it's still no type of like cross purchase type, however you want to call it or whatever. Like I don't want to call it cross save or whatever, but basically you can't have your account on like different platforms and stuff like that. I feel like that's problematic, and that's something that should have been resolved a long time ago. I mean, Overwatch 2 got I can go put my money on my Xbox and buy cosmetics and play it on my PS5. Like, how come I can't do that on like Apex still? Like Apex been on way longer. Well, longer than Overwatch 2, but
this could be solved with them simply providing that currency in their real game, like removing the currency that is currently on that mobile platform, or the purchases of currency on that mobile platform and switching it over to currency. They don't even have to per se exchange money. They just have to provide a way to recuperate what you have lost from buying into the mobile platform. If you can recuperate it and like you have an EA account and it's attached to the mobile, and you can attach it to your overstanding Apex account, then I don't see why they couldn't provide Apex coins or gold packs, as in how much you purchase throughout that, and there's some type of currency exchange, because like I said, they're not losing any money, but it just seems as if they are not in the space to do the right thing. It's like they just don't care. And it sucks. So understanding that there are totally different platforms, but there is some back end stuff that you can do to kind of create and provide people a avenue to recuperate what they have lost. And this is the first that this is like happened in a major way, because Apex Mobile was a major thing at the time a year ago, not even long ago, a year ago. And for Fortnite or someone like that to shutter their mobile part, the good thing about Fortnite is that even if you play on mobile, your account is tied, so you don't ever lose anything. So, and am I right in stating that, Josh? It's not separate, is it?
What is separate?
Is Fortnite's mobile separate from the main game?
No, it's the exact same game and the same account.
Exactly. That is the type of stuff I'm talking about. Laziness, the lack of follow through, the lack of features. It just makes me not want to play this game or touch this company for a very long time. And I think a lot of people are starting to adopt that sentiment, and it's getting bad. And like I of course I want to play team deathmatch in this, but I just refuse to even give this game a time of day anymore. It just has. I'm someone that spent money because I believed in the developer, so I just hold it a little bit more than what you guys, or maybe I know Josh, you spent money too, but it's just like, God, you guys suck and you guys aren't getting better. So I don't really know what to do outside of just stop cold turkey. I mean, granted, it was a time investment and it was a time consuming, and I've played other games over time, and I've gotten used to playing other things, but I think I will never get into a point where I'm really providing lots of, you know, revenue for a company anymore, like actual income. Like I'm not going to be doing like what I did with Apex anytime soon, because I just don't trust anything like that no more, especially when I feel like I'm being slighted for enjoying a game. So not saying that all companies are the same, but this is just tainted for me in this regard. It's like a tainted situation. But let's move into and it's hard to kind of transition, but whatever, into the good, or at least the stuff that we're interested in seeing coming out of Apex. I mean, I'm not interested, but it's there. Whatever. That's what I'm gonna say. So Apex Legends Revelry. I watched the trailer on mute. I was not entertained. I don't even know what was happening. All I know is what they were showing me wasn't impressive, and they didn't say crossplay or cross save. But they did throw up some extra stuff on their website, and they do show that we're going to be getting Team Deathmatch. And we're going to be getting remastered Legend classes. So they're going to have 5 classes. And there's I think they're going to kind of go through that, and I'm trying to see if I can find the latest. I think it's the game.
Yeah, all they mentioned is each class is going to have like some sort of passive based on that class. So to just try to like unify the gameplay, because all the characters are pretty spread out. But I mean, I'm okay with more passives. When does it actually come out though? My bad for interrupting. I know you were explaining the what's going on.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Because I'm trying to remember the actual. Well, this comes out February. It comes out
on the 8th.
Yeah, so it come out tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, sorry, 14th. This comes out on the 14th.
Oh, the next trailer is the 8th, I guess?
The next trailer is the 8th. The actual 14th is when this modes and everything, Revelry starts. So you still got a week before the next season starts. But yeah, it's really just, I don't know how to say it. It's kind of like what they have is the team deathmatch. They're going to be adding in a new rotation mode where you're going to be able to, so you're now going to be able to play the playlist things like Team Deathmatch, Gun Run, and Control. They're going to actually have a dedicated playlist for that, which is good because when I'm tired of playing the Battle Royale, those modes are more interesting at points. And then there is, I believe, Arenas is still going to be here. They didn't mention that it was going away. Unless I read it wrong. What did you get from it, Josh? I didn't get that it was going away. I got.
I thought they were getting rid of it.
It says we're excited.
I don't know.
Yeah, it says this
I don't know
year.
if it's permanent, but they're removing it and it's being replaced with Team Deathmatch and the rotation modes. So I don't know if Arenas is gone for good. I would say it probably is.
It says, first we want to talk about Arenas. At its core, Apex Legends Battle Royale, the team wants to help players to master the core game mode. In its current state, Arenas is not meeting our goal. But I don't see them saying it's going away. But we're excited to announce that the launch of Revel will be debuting Team Deathmatch to the Apex games. Available the first 3 weeks. We've also heard feedback on what the one permanent mode, so they're going to be doing that mixtape thing that I was talking about. The Nemesis weapon is finally going to drop. It's like basically a R301 or a flatline. It's supposed to dethrone the R301 as the go-to weapon. And then they also have the, the stuff they're going to be doing for new players, the anniversary collection, because, they still need that money. And then they're going to be doing the remastered Legend classes, and there will be 5 distinct classes: Assault, Recon, Skirmisher, which Lopa going to fall into, Controller, and Support. So these are the 5 different classes, and I guess they're all going to have meaningful buffs and things like that. So they're doing they're going to be buffing Lifeline, Seer, Wraith, and they're going to be doing some nerfs on a few things, but I'm pretty sure they're going to buff Lifeline. They said the animations for support characters might be faster. They're going to have unique perks to that class. So, I mean, it's obviously that they're going to be trying to level set the characters so that everything is a little bit more, I don't know, controllable, or at least feels as if more people can partake than just one character, like Lifeline and her bins. Like, maybe they're going to give everybody that support that ability to open those bins and things like that. So regardless, I feel like, yes, that's fine.
Her care package, Jalen.
As long as they
at this point, bro.
Or they take away the drone and give it to everybody.
Oh,
I mean, they Lifeline already, you know what I'm saying? She been in the good. I'm like, y'all can do whatever y'all want with her. I don't even play the game.
Yeah.
So you know I ain't worried.
So you know I ain't worried. Yeah. So if you haven't guessed by now, it has not rekindled our love for Apex. Unfortunately, this is not enough. I told you there's plenty of things there's a laundry list of things that need to be fixed and updated before it gets my time of day. And really, the biggest one is cross save. When I can get my money off of the PlayStation Network, the better. But it's not that I don't enjoy being on PlayStation. I just don't enjoy being trapped to PlayStation, and that's not fun and experience for me. So I don't really care to give it more time if I'm never going to meet that end goal of cross save. If it does happen, great. If it doesn't, then I just lost that stuff, and that's fine with me. But anything else before we wrap up on this?
No, I mean, I mentioned they canceled the Titanfall / Apex crossover game, which sucks. Hopefully, I mean, it doesn't even have to be robots at this point, but I feel like they have a good IP with a lot of interesting stuff that they're not really utilizing. And hopefully with this change, Revelry can show like they are interested in keeping that other stuff, like the limited time modes, like more weapons. Different abilities, stuff like that, and hopefully Apex can stop being so stagnant. But we'll see.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's move right into the next topic. Will Smith, do we forgive him? And is Bad Boys 4 going to really be beneficial of forgiving him? I heard something very funny where it was like Will Smith is on the warpath to try to get back into the Oscars good graces, and he out here doing anything, and that includes, because some people didn't enjoy Bad Boys 3, which is a Bad Boys 4. But what do y'all think about Will Smith? Do y'all care that he slaps Chris Rock on national television? Are we over it? Is him and his wife going to get another pass after pass? What we thinking?
Who you want to go, Josh?
Ask black men what we thinking about Big Will slapping another black man on national television.
I mean,
I think. Oh,
go
ahead,
ahead.
Jalen.
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, I think of course, like for like a public presence, me as an adult, me being a father, like you have to present yourself a certain way. You shouldn't act out like that way. There will be consequences, but at the same time, I don't actually care. It wasn't that big of a deal because like he didn't murder the dude. He didn't stab him. He didn't, choke him out on stage. He slapped him and walked away. People do worse stuff every day. In Hollywood, it's still people like, I mean, not to bring up other controversy, but like Johnny Depp and his ex-wife, they were cutting each other, and it's like they still in movies. People can get over it and forgive Will Smith. It's not the worst thing to happen. That being said, I don't know, he acted out at the Oscars, and like this platform they want to put forward for certain presidents. if he wants to be back in that life, then yeah, he has to jump through hoops to get back in people's good graces. I don't think Bad Boys is gonna get him into the Oscars.
Man,
But
he out here doing anything.
people still enjoy Bad Boys. Like I didn't see the last one, but hopefully it's funny.
All right,
Bad Boys, what you gonna do? What
all
you
right,
gonna?
Jalen. We got PC Josh's opinion. What about you? What you think about this black man slapping another black man, not coming back, trying to promote to other black men? What you think?
Man, I'm sick you caught on PC. I mean, like, I'm gonna just keep it a buck, man. Like, he a celebrity. I don't know what stuff he go through. Clearly, there's a lot of controversy with him and his wife and stuff. So, I mean, with mental health being prominent, I'm gonna pull that card. Who knows what he's going through? And I'm just trying to empathize, man. We got to stick together and not, you know what I'm saying? We got to uphold an image. But, black people we don't got no black men, don't got people who we can talk to. And another factor is, like, as a male, we like, our value is strongly influenced by how much we can provide. Like, I mean, that's just fact. So with that being said, that we got to be strong all the time and stuff like that. And I think he just had a moment of weakness, and I think everybody have those, but it just happened at the wrong time. And like Josh said, he didn't do nothing crazy. He didn't even do nothing malicious, to be honest with you. He just he outlashed and he did something, and he just picked the wrong time to do it. Like he said, he could be cutting people and doing all this type of things, all that type of stuff. I don't agree with how he did it, but if I'm trying to empathize, I ain't talk to Will Smith. I ain't a Will Smith huge fan because he make that stupid face when he like mad and sad at the same time. Like I hate that face, bro. But anywho, you know what I'm talking about too.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. That's the face he made that made him famous when he cried.
Bro,
why you love me, man?
I'm like, is you mad or is you sad, bro? You want to cry? What you want, bro? You want to destroy the world?
He did that movie. He did that face in Independence Day. He did that face.
He did that movie in
Fresh
every
Prince
movie.
of Bel-Air. He did that in After Earth. He did that in Concussion.
On Focus when he was trying to lose all that money. He did. I'm like, he always do that face, bro. I can't stand it. Right.
Pursuit of Happiness was the killer for me. And he was crying down he was trying to hold that door closed because my man was trying to come in on him and his kid. I said, dog, that face is everywhere.
Bro, that's his signature face. That's my time, boy.
He even did it in Hitch. And I like, how you do that in Hitch? That's supposed to be a fun upbeat movie. He did it in
power up and pull that face out. He's like Super Saiyan face. But no, like I'm saying, I'm just trying to take like a broad, look at the bigger picture and why he did it. And my thing is, this is gonna always be a debate. I just don't like the fact that he getting dogged out about his like wife and stuff like that, and his wife doing what he do. That is the part that is like the most. He should be having that mad, sad face all the time, every time you see her. He could beat her, but my thing is, he didn't have. But to sum it all up, I don't think he did a horrible thing. I think he just picked a bad time. You got all the people running the Oscars, all the behind the scenes stuff, how we look about our public image, different things like that. Like, I think that's the biggest piece of it. I think he shouldn't be penalized as much as he should. But I mean, of course, when you do things on TV, you get penalized. Same thing with the players in NBA, they get a tech or something. These people act worse than that all the time. They just happen to do it in an NBA game. Now they get fined as much money. So I think he just picked a bad time, and there's some mental health concerns that caused him to lash out the way he did. I don't fault him for that entirely. I just fault him for staying in the environment that he in with his wife, man. That thing.
Oh man, don't be calling her no thing. That his wife would respect her, but
man, he can come smack me.
I stand with Jim Carrey. Forget that, man. That was trifling what he did to Chris Rock. That's not what you're supposed to do. And unfortunately, you only get so many. He only got one mistake for real, and that's slapping them and making that face in movies. But so I mean, I guess I can forgive him. Yes, and he's just a cheerful guy, and I don't know. I can't stay mad at people that actually bring positivity to the world in that degree, but at the same time, he should be held accountable for his actions. And I don't think it's been enough time for you to be popping back up, being smiley, smile, and hugging on Martin Lawrence. Don't put that voodoo on Martin Lawrence. So
It's been like a year though.
Man, that's not a
How
long
much time
time. He need more than
But
that.
how much time you need?
4, 3. Go away. That's what you can
Why?
do. Just like Tory Lanez, go away. Like those things, you need to go away.
Tory
you
Lanez smoked somebody. Though.
But Jayla just mentioned like NBA players be trying to take each other neck off like every game, and they suspended for 3 games and then they back.
But that is
smacked-
the
he
contact
even punched
sport.
Chris Rock, though.
It's technically a contact
punching-
sport. Technically, it's a
Yeah,
contact
but-
sport.
No, it's not.
But-
I'm not about to elbow somebody
You get
in the
fouled
face
for
and
that.
it be okay in.
But it's technically a sport where you're playing and you're
Man,
actually
these people be
being
way more
athletic
These
and
people be
aggressive
way
with
more
each other.
violent, bro.
I
Think about
understand what you're saying, but I'm
but
saying
think about how
that
the way
this
people
is
talk on Overwatch, and then think about them actually being able to put hands on you and punch you and do other what's the word, like low blow type stuff when refs not looking, and the stuff they be saying in your ear, like it can get aggressive out there. All Will Smith did was smack Chris Rock. The fact that he smacked and not punched. Think about it. He smacked him and not punched him. He wasn't trying to inflict any damage. He was just trying to check him. If he was trying to inflict damage, he'd have hit him dead in his nose or something like that. Something that's going to give him a hospital bill or something like that.
So Will Smith is back in good graces.
I'm not saying he's in good graces. There's consequences, there's ramifications for every action that you do. But he didn't do that much damage. He humiliated Chris Rock, bro. Like, he shouldn't have attacked another black man or humiliated another black man. I ain't even gonna say attack. Humiliate another black man on public TV. He could have did that another time. He lashed out. There's ramifications for his actions. But how much ramification is needed, though? Like, he need to be out. He stayed off of social media. I'm not even saying he could just be trying to get back in good graces and stuff like that. I'm not saying
for show is trying to get back in good graces.
But what is he supposed to do though? As an icon though, like, is he supposed to try to get back in good grace, or are you supposed to go sit in timeout with a dunce cap on for X amount of years? Like, what are you supposed to do?
Yeah, all I'm saying is after the Malice at the Palace brawl, they were suspended for about a year, and then they were back.
Ron
And that was way worse.
Muffing people, bro. He was running up there.
Fans beating fans, not like other players.
Hit me with some popcorn. Come here. I'm about to knock it all out your hand, and then I'm knocking your block off. What are you saying?
What y'all trying to do is mitigate by providing examples of other black men doing the wrong thing.
I agree with you, Deontay. If he did something worse, if he went up there and smacked Beyonce or he smacked Taylor Swift, yes, let him be gone forever.
Why is it so much easier for y'all except him doing it to a black man?
But if he punched Chris Rock, that would have been something different. If he started,
I think it should be all the same. If you have to put Beyonce face on that, but it's bad. It's just a bad situation, and I don't think
a bad situation,
he should be coming back after no year talking about funny movies. Now,
what is he supposed to be doing? Then is the question.
That's what I mean.
Working on himself.
He shouldn't do movies.
How you know how much
he done enough movies. He already did a movie while that was going on. He did that not terrible, but the Slave movie. Like, okay, let me come out first with the Slave movie, get him winning back because I'm doing some historical.
But this is livelihood.
And
you don't know how much.
And then let me come back with the funny, so I can get everybody to laugh and back in their good graces. And then I go back to my regular program. I think that's wrong.
But you got to think about the other things that's coming.
Technically, still got to deal with that slap every day. I feel like he got to deal with that slap, and I think that slap it spoke more volumes. It wasn't like it hurt it. I'm not saying he hurt him physically. It was a mental scar. It's like something that's like, wow, I have to deal with this interaction for the rest of my life. And now this guy is running around acting like the interaction never happened.
He had a whole tour and where you can just talk about Will Smith, and that's just like free publicity.
I mean, yeah, because all comedians take pain and suffering and bringing some funny into it. I get that, but it's just like,
So yeah, he was
know.
wrong. I'm not saying that he wasn't wrong. I'm just saying that Will Smith took his punishment for it, but I don't see why that means he just can't. Well, I mean,
but I'm saying we can't. Like,
he went to go chill in his house, in his crib, and chill, play video games, or do whatever he wanted to do.
But what if he like bound it to some type of contract? He got his livelihood, different things that like. What is that? What if that's coming into play? Like, we can't discount none of that.
I'm not saying that he don't have obligations. This don't sound like no obligation. The movie he did before, maybe it was an obligation. It wasn't. This is, I'm presenting to you, we greenlit Bad Boys, now that my controversy is over.
So is it the presentation on how he greenlit, say we're making Bad Boys too? I mean, or is it just the fact that he's in a Bad Boys movie that's coming out?
It's the fact that he presented it. I got some exciting news for y'all. Ooh, so I can't wait to show y'all.
So
I'm so much excited. I'm gonna say the opposite point.
I say when he was doing all this super apologetic and crying and doing the Tyrese face, that was too much. That was unnecessary, and he shouldn't have did that. Like, I don't think Will Smith should be doing those Instagram videos where he crying and apologizing for stuff. If you want to move on and act normal and be happy, that's cool with me. Like, he can announce this movie however he wants, but it's better than coming out like, hey, y'all, I know y'all still mad at me, but I got a new movie. Like, I don't need that either.
All right. Well, I don't want to spend 20 minutes on Will Smith. I'm going to say I agree to disagree. I think he should be in his congratulations phase. I think he should still be in that phase with the Tyrese at the end. I don't think he should be happy right now. I just don't. I think he should still be suffering in some form or fashion, because I feel like they minimize the effect because it happened to a black man. I just think they minimize the effect. I don't like it. I just don't. It just looks bad to me, because if it happened to anything else or happened to anyone else, or a white individual and I don't want to make it racy, but all I'm just saying is I just feel like sometimes it's mitigated when it comes to us, as in, oh, we gonna move on. I don't like that. So no, I'm not going to see Bad Boys 4, and I have a distaste for Will Smith in the future. I find him enjoyable to still experience. I just felt like in the back of my mind, I'm like, you're experiencing Will Smith happy when you know for a fact that somebody out there is dealing with the ramifications of what this man did, and I don't like it. So it's not that I can't enjoy him for who he is as a light, because again, at the end of the day, Will Smith has been perfect for almost 30 years in my eyes, and he's hidden and provided this persona of happiness and perfection for a long time. For it to be cracked like that, it kind of feels as if you watch someone change. But at the end of the day, people aren't meant to be perfect, and I understand that. And he's already apologized. I just don't like this announcement. I don't like the experience. I don't like that I don't like, I can tell that it's a rollout. And I don't like that I can tell that he's checking boxes to get to good graces of the fans again. I don't like that, because that's not genuine to me. So so it's more so the presentation of everything then. Okay, no, I can understand that. That's fair. Yeah, it's just not genuine. So I don't want to spend too much time on it. I appreciate y'all actually, your opinions, and I understand your opinions, but let's move on, because we got to get to some more stuff. So the next thing I want to talk about is the PlayStation verse. The PSVR 2s. They're not looking so hot. So they obviously, the economy is getting impacted by the recession that people want to pretend like it doesn't exist. But it's also the fact that don't nobody want to play VR for expensive prices. I'm not running out to get nothing, no VR for what is it, Josh? $499, $599? What is the price?
It was like $599, same price as the PS5.
Yeah. I'm not going out to pay for no stuff like that, and I don't think that the technology is there. They have to demo this type of stuff. This is demo worthy thing. Like you cannot try to present this in a way that people haven't experienced it. That is why Oculus had to raise their prices, and that's why they are so successful, because they went to a target price that they know people could get behind, and they moved forward with that. This amount of money, especially still being wired, it's just astronomical to me. It's like, what? Why would I want to pay for this? And I mean, I don't care how good the experience is. It's still wired and it's still VR. It's very much so a niche experience that will never hit the forefront of what you expect. So they did have to adjust the pre-orders on this, and for I guess I'm not trying to state that they have to. I'm not trying to tell them to give up on niche things. I am trying to calibrate their understanding of why this isn't working. So you get what I'm saying? So, what else makes this not work? Outside of the fact that it's costing too much, what else does VR stand to gain, or what do they stand to learn from Oculus? What do they stand to learn from the overall market? What do they stand to learn from this type of reception moving forward? Because the things that I noticed, and I can just explain the first one and the 1 and 2, which is the price, and then secondly, the demoing of it. There's no real good way to say, well, your eyeballs are going to have a better experience with this one versus the next when you have a competitor like Oculus. So the demoing is very important, but also the price. Anything else that kind of stand out to make y'all think, well, obviously this was going to happen? Because I knew it was going to happen, but I didn't think it was going to be like this fast anyway, like to the point where they have to adjust the amount they actually make.
Yeah, I mean, VR is already a niche thing, and with competition with Oculus, PlayStation has to be like stand out like as very unique and get people into it. Just saying that you have really good hardware and it's at I say more expensive price point where people would just want to splurge and buy it, or like impulse buy it. You really have to demo it and be like, these are the experiences that you can't get nowhere else. I know they have the Horizon game coming out. That's okay, but it's still very hard to get VR like impressions over YouTube videos. Like nobody's played it, nobody's seen it. Like, and at that price point, only people who are already interested in VR are even gonna look at this stuff. Whereas like if, let's say it's at a super dumb cheap price, it's like $300. Then like if a mom or some kids see it in Best Buy, they try it out. Maybe they just want to impulse buy it. They want to buy it for Christmas, buy it for a birthday. But like with this big investment, it's already too much for people to even like consider that. Like, so I don't know what they can do. I think PSVR also at this point being like stuck to the PlayStation platform is going to be a big issue going forward. Because at this point, most VR headsets are, if not cross-compatible with the PC, at least they're, well, no, I think all of them are playable on like Steam VR. So you can have your Oculus library and you can have your Steam library. Whereas like I'm not spending nothing to be locked to the PlayStation platform. I don't care how good Horizon is.
Yeah. And I think one of the bigger things, I'm reading this article by trustedreviews.com, 5 reasons why the PlayStation is struggling. And I didn't even, I realized it, but I forgot about it, is that basically this thing is not backwards compatible. So even the people that are going to upgrade to this from their old previous one won't even be able to play their games that they actually own. And then they're going to have a very small lineup of games to play. It does have a retail price of $549, which is the same, but it's still the same price, because this is $549 in the US, so it's actually more than the PS5. PS5 is $499, and $399 respectively. So It's more. It's actually more than the PS5. So, yeah, I want to double check to make sure that's true. Yes, it is. It is more. That is ridiculous. Yeah, poor timing, poor pricing, backwards the lack of features, and this is normal PlayStation though. Like it's just I'm not trying to make this to feel like that this is new. This is normal PlayStation. They never really price right. They only won the previous one because Microsoft went first, and obviously the stupid DRM thing. And so obviously they won that pricing matter because everybody was, scared on the PS5 and the PS4 Xbox, so they just did the same pricing. But what they did with the PS3. The PS2 was a good price simply because of competition. Basically they wanted to beat out the Saturn. The Dreamcast, and I believe it was another one. No, the Saturn. They wanted to beat out the Saturn. I think Sega Saturn. Was it the Sega Saturn or was it the?
Yeah, that's Sega.
Or the Dreamcast.
Yeah, I think it was. It wasn't the Dreamcast. Dreamcast came after the PS2.
Wait, you talking about the PlayStation 1 versus the Sega Saturn, or the PlayStation 2 versus the Dreamcast? Because the Sega Saturn came out like way before the PS2.
But I thought the Sega Saturn was the one that was heavily competing with the PS2, or was that different?
Nah, not the Sega Saturn, because them games was cheap. I was playing Sonic the Hedgehog on them.
So was it Nintendo 64 that was the competitor with the PS2?
No, not the 64, because the PS2 came out the era with the Xbox and the GameCube and the Dreamcast.
No, the GameCube came out after. The PS2 came out, if I'm not mistaken, didn't it
like
come
2000, 2001, something like that.
Yeah, 2000. The GameCube came out 2001.
2001.
And then the Sega Saturn.
Like 90 something.
Yeah, the Saturn was a PS1 competitor because it was one of not the first, but it had a CD drive, in which that's when everybody was moving towards CDs.
Yeah, so 1995. Okay. So, yes. Okay, you're right. PlayStation was competing with, because Nintendo 64 came out, because that was a 64-bit, that was the first 64-bit console. That's why it was 64. And that one was like the one where they introduced 3D graphics, and that's when the PS2. That's why I thought it was the direct competitor because that came out in 1996. Theirs didn't come around until 2000 because the PlayStation, technically, they started creating like obviously they had 3D games, but it was a little bit different. It wasn't as special as the PS2. I'm trying to think, like, maybe my timeline's messed up, but overall, what I was trying to get at is that the PlayStation 2 was priced around the competition. The PS3 wasn't, because I thought they had the masses, and it has been that effect ever since. Like, that's what they do. They kind of outprice themselves out the market, and it doesn't really work. So I never expected them to even make the right choice when it came to this, because I was always like, this is going to be too expensive. And the only reason that the PlayStation is honed in the States is because of the competition. So they always follow the competition. They never really price correctly on their own. So this is what it looks like on their own. Even though they know they have the Oculus competition, this is what they think. This is how they expect us to react to their products. But in reality, nobody's gonna pay this amount of money for this. I might get it on sale at $250 because I'm done with my Oculus. But at the same point, I don't think I'm into that VR experience anymore. It's just very difficult for me to get behind, and it's just not interesting. But any lasting thoughts on
that money to be lightheaded?
No, I'm trying to be hurting my head, bro. I'm like an old man now. Oh man, G. Any lasting thoughts on the PlayStation VR before we move on? Oh, nope. All right. Last thing we're gonna talk about. Well, two last things. And we don't gotta beat the dead horse with this one. PlayStation again is doing the collection games. They're removing stuff. You know, they love to do things that we always expect them not to do. So, Sony's PlayStation Plus collection of games that they're giving away for free for having the PS5 and having PlayStation Plus, they're taking those away because obviously it was too much of a good deal. So they're no longer going to have those available, so you can't download them after a certain period of time. But if you buy a PlayStation 5 beforehand and you download the games, you will have them as long as you have PlayStation Plus. But if it like goes away, you lose those games. So,
And you get them back, like if you get your play, because you got the license to the games already, right?
I'm not sure. The way they worded it, don't seem like you can get them back. But I would think so. You know, because obviously it's the same type of licensing that you would do for PlayStation Plus games that you download. Like even though you don't no longer have PlayStation Plus when you get the license again, or you get the actual subscription again, those games come available again. So I would think it'll fall into that category, but you know, it's Sony. So
I think they're smart enough to do that.
I think you're giving them too much credit, but we'll see.
I mean, their infrastructure just don't seem like it's worked that good. So
Yeah.
for them to take that away seems like it'd be a task, but I don't know.
Yeah. But the true last topic is Legend of Zelda and potentially being $70. There's something that came out, Wario64 noticed that there was a discrepancy on the Nintendo platform. They own their Nintendo's Direct where wow. So Best Buy, okay, so we're getting this update in real time. Best Buy has delisted Tears of the Kingdom. So $69.99 is probably the real price. Wow.
Man, y'all ready?
Wow.
Yeah.
So real time, we're learning this as you guys are kind of technically learning it, or at least learning as you're listening to it. So they are going to be charging $69.99 for Legend of Zelda, first game to do so. And
Didn't DS games do that? They went from like $34.99 to $40 or something like that, or
probably.
something like that, or 3DS maybe. I don't know.
Wow. So I'm not sure.
So
I mean,
y'all still got your pre-orders, right? Y'all.
man.
You gonna pre-order from the eShop?
So we'll be thinking, Jalen.
So talk about being out of touch with prices. That's Nintendo for you. Like they are 100% banking on like, oh, you know, look at what they're doing over at PlayStation. They charging $70 for their premium games. So why we not doing the same? In which, you know, it's even hard to justify the pricing with the PS5 games and like other AAA games. They claim it's because, you know, it costs so much money to produce games like Hogwarts Legacy and God of War. Like, look at these graphics. We have to hire 1,000 people. Nintendo doesn't even have the same excuse. It's just they think that their product is the same caliber, and not to say it's not as fun, but it's not in the same like price bracket. So I don't know why they're even considering raising it. And like, is it just for Zelda, or do they think people are going to pay these prices for Splatoon 4 or Kirby or whatever?
Wow. Yeah, it's I don't know.
And that boy speechless. Like you ain't because you ain't believe it before.
No, I didn't believe it, but I feel like they're going to do the Switch 2 announcement because they're doing a Nintendo Direct tomorrow. I really hope it's the Switch 2 announcement because this is the only thing that can justify this.
If it's a Switch 2 and the Switch 2 version is more expensive, that still sucked, but I would accept it. Whereas, like, if it's just 70, like, I don't know why.
And I kind of, I hope it is because I kind of called that this was going to happen, and they're going to announce something big. But if they don't, and it's just some stupid stuff about more games and why it should cost $69.99, I already told y'all that I just can't. I am. Why is it so hard for people to do the right thing, man? Like, your game isn't worth this amount of money. Your game was. It was. And I'm not trying to say that the game value is only supported by the technical prowess, but that is the basis of what a game is based on. And if it's not that technical to create, you cannot charge me more. And it's the same thing for art. Unfortunately, they have blocked themselves into a space where you're not based off of the art. You are literally based off of the platform, the level, and the technical part of it. It's not about the art because there's plenty of games. Yes, if they were $150, I might still try to figure out a way to get said game if it felt like it was such a need. But we are level set in where we are and what we experience, and this just creates I don't know. This just creates a super depressing feeling going into.
I'm not paying more than 60 for a game that don't got a 60 FPS mode.
Fam. You're literally charging me 2 times the price of a frame, and then you barely gonna be hitting it. Probably 28, 29. Are you kidding me? Like, come on, bro. Come on. Like, stop it, man. This is ridiculous.
Please be excited.
Man, I really hope that there is a Switch 2 announcement so I can be a little bit more of a joyous gamer than I am now. Because right now, it just feels as if I'm just... This hobby of mine is becoming less and less and less enjoyable to be a part of. It just seems like, man, we don't really have anybody out there looking out. I think it's just I take that back. You know, Big
you said it right.
Big Phil do what he can, but he ain't got the games to back it up. The people that got the games to back it up they suck.
They can do what they can because they run the market because they got the games to back it up. You said it right.
They suck, man. And I can't wait for them to buy them all and really bring some. But then it's just going to be like, I would love for the competition to become, and that's the only reason I'm like a part of this whole unison and like level set, because I know if Microsoft, the big conglomerate that they are, get to the level of playing field as the others, they can create the narrative from there. Like, the reason why Sony doesn't charge us an extra $50 for as PlayStation right now is simply because of Microsoft. But once Microsoft becomes that level player, that real player in the game, it truly makes these other companies look at their model differently. And I can't champion that enough. It's just that I'm waiting for the day that Microsoft becomes and experiences that level of success that we normally see at Sony and Nintendo. It's like we need somebody else. Like, these companies were built and are based in that they're both Japan companies, right? Japanese companies, right? Sony and Microsoft and Nintendo are, correct?
Yeah.
So
They used to be friends.
they used to be. Yeah, they was both. They were supposed to make a console together. Thank God that never happened.
Yeah.
But yes, they would have been unstoppable, like for real. But understandably so, that they probably would have never branched off and like really started to compete. We probably would never got the caliber of games that we have now because Nintendo would have made them
Mario Fantasy 3.
make Mario Fantasy 3. So thank God we had to find other developers, and then competition came because that's what made the gaming boom happen. PlayStation and PlayStation 2 truly took the world by storm, and Nintendo had to do something outside of just try to put out another Super Nintendo and NES. They had to go and elevate, and they had to get better, and they always lag behind. But as long as they started to build and create the games that we know and love, with that competition being right on their foot or right on their neck is why we got the type of competition we have now. So I just need Microsoft to come in and put these people, these level head, these individuals that think they just above everything, to come in and just stop this noise, because it's too much. And then, I mean, once I can't champion Xbox no more, it's going to be it's going to be sad again. But until then, I'm going to keep championing them because I know at least they're the underdogs in this situation. So, but yeah, I mean, I don't really got much else. I don't want to hold everybody. But let's hope for an announcement, Josh. I think hopefully I was right in regards to they're going to do a secret drop, and we got a Switch 2 coming out. $69.99 pricing makes me feel like that is the case because they haven't charged that amount ever, and it would be kind of crazy for them to do it for this one game, but at the same time, it's Nintendo. Price point,
I'm less optimistic. I think that's the price. At best, it's going to be the standard edition, going to come with like an amiibo or something, but I think they sticking to the 70 with no incentives.
Yeah. Well, let us dreamers dream until tomorrow.
Man, it's gonna come with a Switch sleeve.
Listen,
mandatory.
Listen, I'm telling you, I'm not paying
a 7-day
Nintendo
online trial.
Nah, they're gonna give you 48 hours.
That's crazy.
48 hours.
I'm not letting any company give me a discount either. Nintendo giving me a discount. So we gonna figure that out in any way, shape, or form. But we'll figure it out. But yeah, I mean, that's crazy, but it is what it is. $70 Nintendo games now. And we'll see what happens tomorrow. Hopefully we actually get some type of incentive for that extra $10. It's probably going to be on the same level as God of War, where I still felt slighted because no, you didn't deserve the extra $10. Yes, there was a lot of value in the game, but going from PS4 to PS5, and just having a visually more appealing like resolution is not enough. But I mean, if anybody's going to get that extra money, it's going to be the person that did the extra time, the extra polish, the extra design work, the extra dialogue, the extra details. Listen to the finer details. If anybody's going to get it, it's going to be them. So, but yeah.
And Nintendo think it's a privilege that they let you buy that game.
It's a privilege to let you own my stuff, right? Stop playing with me, boy, before I take it back. That's how they talk to you. That's how they talk to you. So, I get what you're saying.
My hood, right?
You know this my hood, right? They said
that's what they be saying.
He said, "Come to the block." He said, "Don't play with me. I know you got me on the snap."
Don't play with me, dog. I know you got me on the snap,
man. Okay, well, that's it. Thank you guys for listening. I'm gonna contemplate this whole Nintendo situation a little bit more, and we're gonna probably come back with some more topics next week. But if you got to this part of the show, you're the real OG. I want to thank you guys for listening. As always, we appreciate you, every one of you listeners, everyone that engages. I'm happy and thankful. But yeah, thank you all for listening, and we will talk to you guys next time. Hopefully, next time we had good news and not bad, but. Seems like we're going to be on the bad side. Thanks for listening. Talk to you in the next one. Peace.